there's a lot of things going on. I had a cold, so I didn't know where the symptoms were coming from, and so I was planning on playing, but the doctors were like, they didn't like, because of my history, they were like, let's take that game because we don't feel good. We want to make sure it's nothing, and I felt fine. Sorry, the next 2 days I had no symptoms, so that was good.
So you went through the protocol though before, and nothing happened?
I didn't go through a protocol because it was not a concussion. It was more, I didn't feel good, and the doctors didn't want to take that chance, basically. But we didn't, like, I wasn't sure if it was like from the cold, from like what was coming from. Was it from like I took a few hits that game, so I guess they were trying to be.
And I missed, did you say there was something else? You said groin and then that, or was there something else? That's it, okay.
And now you said this possibility of surgery, is there kind of a date this summer where?
No, well, yeah, hopefully, like, should go away probably in 2-3 weeks, I'm guessing, I don't know. And it's still there, I'm going to have to probably make some phone calls and let them know that it's still an issue.
Rick Nash mentioned earlier, he's been around for a long time. This is one of the best groups he's been around, best team he's been on. Obviously, you've been on some pretty good teams. Was there a sense this was kind of a special group, maybe more than a couple of years past? Or?
Yeah, I've had that feeling all year, basically, that it's a special group and character guys, and yeah, so it's always been something that the whole year I had that same feeling. And it's disappointing to be here right now because I felt like we had that group to go far, and it's hard to say like, we have the group to win. Like, it's hard to say that because it's not easy to win. But I thought we would still be playing right now, so that was so that's disappointing that way. So yeah, I agree with Rick for sure that it was a special group, and it's unfortunate and disappointing.
You've been in situations before like that, though. You had a special group, and you're like, man, that was a missed opportunity. I think way back to your rookie season. Yeah. There were a lot of free agents on that team, right? And they didn't come back. There's a lot of guys coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, so is that some sense of comfort?
Yeah, for sure. It's nice to see. It helps to kind of remind you that the glass is half full, and that there's a lot of young guys that are going to keep getting better and be with us for a while, and the veterans most of them are signed long term, and so it's great that way. That being said, everyone starts over, right? Next year, like, it's back to, I guess, to zero, and you have to work your way up again. So that's the one thing when you got to be careful. You got to make sure that we all know that we have to put in the work this summer and make sure we come back hungry for more next year.
Yeah, you see like what happened in Colorado a couple years ago.
Right. There's a lot of teams, I guess.
Yeah.
It happens to a lot of teams where you're going to be. That's all. I mean, I'm definitely optimistic, and I know that we have a great team, so it's kind of looking great, and I'm excited about it for sure.
Take two more for Bergeron. Any lingering thoughts on the face-off thing? Have you got any answers with that?
No, I mean, I think it got better as the series went on. I think we've talked about it a bit. So there's always going to be that gray area with the face-offs. I feel like to me, a face-off is a battle. It's you want to be competitive, you want to win it. So yeah, of course sometimes you're gonna move and a little bit, but there's also that timing piece, and it's just a consistency that I'm looking for sometimes that is not always there, but it's fine. I mean, it's, to me, like, you got to adjust, you got to adapt, and that's what I have to do. I'm not going to be here and complain about it because I don't feel like that's the way to go. I think you have to communicate and talk to the linesmen that are on the ice and try to find a way of what am I doing wrong, and so I think that got better as the series went on, and communicated maybe a little bit more with them, and that helped.
It must become more of a challenge for you, though, right? If it becomes game one against Tampa, you don't really get thrown out at all. Like game two, it's like 6 or 7 times in the offensive zone. Like going from game to game, that's going to be difficult.
For sure. So so that's the consistency sometimes that you're looking for, and But I felt like it was fine like all year. I felt like I adjusted and I adapted, and and it was in the playoffs. It was kind of back to, you know, a little bit of a gray area or question mark. But I felt like it was fine by the end. So it's the way it is, I guess.
Thanks, Bergie.